Did you know your words create the stuff that happens in your life? It all begins with words. The words of others then become your inner dialogue, the words inside your own head. I'm going to show you today how others actually influence what happens in your life simply by their words, and by the end of this you'll be able to do two things. One, notice their influence, and two, take your own power back. Hi, I'm Gail Marie from Spiritual Soulmate, and for over 22 years I've been helping people take their power back to create empowering and uplifting relationships. Remember the taunt, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never harm me"? Wouldn't it be nice if that were true? Then all those names we were called when we were young, and the names inside our heads that we still call ourselves today, like useless and worthless and it'll never work and you don't deserve that, they would all be meaningless. Life would be easy and fun. But words do have impact. They do hurt. Those vindictive or even careless words thrown about by somebody we admire or look up to can be very powerful. When they're packed with emotion, they don't even need to be repeated often. Most people are only too ready to adopt these denigrating terms from somebody they look up to as their mantra. Not consciously, of course. Nobody wants to feel worthless on purpose. Words can either uplift or they can destroy your self-worth in just one statement. The reason words can be so very powerful is that words are inspired by your intentions and spoken with emotion. These mini powerhouses can be used to stir a nation to uprise and march for freedom, just as Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. have done. But they can also hold people prisoner in their own minds, such as communist countries and toxic relationships achieve. Parents have long used words to build confidence in their kids' abilities or destroy their self-esteem, building confidence with one sentence and tearing it down with another. It's a wonder we make it through life to find any happiness at all. The power of words have been known and used to influence others for centuries by governments, conspiracy theorists, and the media, to find support for a new idea or even to sell products. It falls back to the influence of the power of words. So what makes words powerful? After all, they're just strings of letters, spoken mostly by people we don't even know. So why do they have such influence? Words aren't powerful on their own. It's the listener who attaches the meaning that makes them powerful, and you, the listener, can only hear the words through your own filter, and your filter is determined by your mood. What you feel right now is your filter. If you've been hurt and you're feeling pain, your filter is defensive. You're hearing words through the filter of being defensive. If you're feeling great, your filter is happiness. You're hearing words through the filter of love. Through this filter, you won't even hear vindictiveness and animosity. It'll be like water off a duck's back. Therefore, the words you hear are interpreted by your moods. That's where the term presses your buttons comes from. Somebody close can press your buttons because they installed them. They've taught you how to feel in response to their words. It's what we call a pattern. They've installed a pattern in you through a repeated behavior, and that's why their words are powerful in your life. In fact, those words can be so powerful that people have killed themselves and others just to alleviate the pain of these words, such as when a spouse has been so tormented they either kill themselves or their partners just to escape the pain, and it all began with words. Ultimately, it's the words inside your own head that are your biggest influence. Others begin the drum roll, but they don't keep beating it as you take up the sticks, and you keep beating it all by yourself. Now you can see how many others influence your life by their words, from media to governments and parents to spouses. The question is, how do you take your own power back? How do you become the person who chooses the questions you want to think, the ones that will uplift your life and make you feel great? And that's a great question because it's the key to peace and harmony. It's the path to inspiration and joy and happiness. So how do you do this? Well, number one, you become conscious of the outside influences and minimize them. Minimizing outside influences means less social media, reduced news input, no gossip, changing conversations, being conscious of your moods, choosing your friends wisely, and not entering into conversations that are denigrating and not uplifting. Number two, decide what you'd prefer. You need to know where you're going. So choose what you want down the track. Imagine yourself 6 months, 2 years, or 5 years ahead and how you'd like that to play out in your life. And number three, you begin to create new patterns inside your own head. This means talking to yourself gently, looking for things to feel good about, ignoring the outside influences, and changing your inner self-talk to reflect a more deserving you. Affirmations don't tend to work because they're usually the opposite to the patterns that are already going on inside your head. So that means you'll just fight with yourself, which defeats the purpose. So ditch the affirmations and instead listen to what's going on inside your head and change it gently and firmly, one word at a time.